the beans. Read and follow pesticide-labeled directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Paul Scarron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. With October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, our state-of-the-art 3D mammo machine can help detect early cancer. Find out details by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Ramey Miller from Run Deep Coaching. Take your power back. I do holistic personal and business coaching. My service is virtual, so we can visit no matter where you are. Find out more by clicking my icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWittDailyNews.com.
News time is 8 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 7 o'clock newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. Here's what we have for you coming up in news on this Monday. The DeWitt County Animal Control Facility is facing a critical situation. That story comes up here as our lead this morning. When Piatt County residents head to the polls in a few weeks, they'll be asked to decide on a tax to support a mental health board. It's a similar board that we have here in DeWitt County. That story with Tony Kirkman at the Piatt County Mental Health Center later this morning. And if you receive Social Security, you can help make sure that Social Security gives you the right benefit each month. That story with Jack Myers at Social Security later this morning in news. But first, we stream to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. DeWitt County Animal Control is facing a critical situation at its facility. Tony Harris is the Animal Control Administrator for DeWitt County and indicates the county faces a nearly full facility.
Well, currently we have 12 dogs and 14 cats. And I know my Animal Control Warden, Nicole Sullivan, got I think 3 cats adopted out yesterday, and I know Second Chance, our rescue partner, is working on getting a couple of dogs out this weekend. So, yes, 12 dogs and 14 cats, that's pretty much at capacity. Mm-hmm. And I'm not so sure we've ever, well, it's been a year now since I've been in this position. I was given the position last year at the end of October. I don't remember. There were some challenging times, but I don't ever remember having the capacity that we're at now with the dogs and cats.
Harris says it is a sad situation. People are abandoning their pets, and they are being recovered by DeWitt County Animal Control. He says when they have information to contact the owners, they aren't getting calls answered or returned.
Well, we're seeing a lot of relinquishments, and not only that, but basically just abandoned dogs. I don't know of any other nicer way to put it, but we've found dogs that have been that we suspect have been dumped. I mean, when we pick up a dog and it goes unclaimed, why is that? I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of cases we know of dogs that have been dumped, and we've contacted the owners and they won't call us back. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Is it because the people can't afford veterinary care, food? I'm just not sure.
If you own an animal but are facing tough times, Harris has some encouragement. While there isn't a lot animal control can do, there are groups in DeWitt County and elsewhere that they can direct you to so you don't have to give up on your pets.
But, one thing now that I said that I can remind the public, there's help out there. The shelter can't provide any kind of help like that, but there's rescues out there like Second Chance for Pets locally that will even help in a financial situation for vet care and things like that. So instead of taking the extreme measure and giving up a dog or dumping a dog, contact the shelter. Again, we can't help in a situation like that, but we can get the person in contact with a rescue group that could help. And it's a good partnership that we have at the shelter with Second Chance, but it's also a good partnership like yourself. Seth, I know that you work with Second Chance and you foster dogs, and without people like yourself, the shelter and Second Chance, we couldn't function, and they were able to help you out with that, but it was a good partnership.
Additionally, to help ease the burden on the shelter, Harris says groups like Second Chance for Pets need help. While they hope more folks would open their homes to foster animals in their transition to a permanent forever home, financial contributions are also a huge help.
And, with that being said, I'd put that out there to the public as well. We need others that can partner with us or Second Chance in fostering this 12 dogs and 14 cats that are currently at the shelter. If we can get them out of the shelter is no place for animals because we're limited staff. We're mindful on the budget, so they don't get out of their kennels very often because we don't have the staff to take them out to play or to walk them. We count on volunteers. We can take volunteers at the shelter as well. Second Chance is always looking for volunteers. But what I'm trying to say is the partnership, like what you currently have with Second Chance, we're looking for partnerships. They can help the public, but the public can also help them. Maybe someone, like you mentioned, can't open their home up for other reasons. Maybe they already have 2 or 3 dogs, but even a little bit of financial help. $25 would be halfway to get a cat spayed or neutered. So, we have a good relationship with a vet that we take basically cats to. He only does cats currently right now. $50 is what he charges to spay or to neuter a cat. So a $25 donation is halfway there to get a cat neutered. Now that's big in DeWitt County because I receive lots of calls and emails about the feral cat population, and it's just it's bad, not just in DeWitt County, it's everywhere. They kind of put me on the spot. What are you going to do about this? Well, we're trying. We've I've put some programs in place to get just this done, but it takes money. We do have a pet population fund that we used all summer long. I don't know for sure. I don't have the numbers in front of me how many cats that we've gotten spayed or neutered, but now Second Chance has taken that over because we are out of funds in that line item. And again, a $25 donation is halfway there to neuter a cat.
Harris announced last week he'll be stepping down as the administrator of the animal control, but that will not go into effect until next spring. When Piatt County residents head to the polls in a few weeks, they'll be asked to decide on a tax to support a mental health board. Tony Kirkman with the Piatt County Mental Health Center explains a 708 board would collect a nominal tax and be able to distribute to qualifying programs in Piatt County.
We recently had a decision by the Piatt County board to allow a question to be placed upon the fall referendum ballot asking Piatt County residents would they consider establishing a 708 mental health board. This is a voluntary board that collects a nominal assessed property value that can't exceed 0.15%. And those funds are collected and then allocated by this voluntary board to providers of developmental services, mental health providers, and substance use providers for underfunded or unfunded programs.
The tax is allowed to go up as high as 0.15%. Kirkman has messaged to the Piatt County Board his agency would not need anything close to that to maintain its services, and in fact, neighboring counties have not maxed out their rates on this tax.
If it is allowed to, when we look at the tax tables, if we collect at the highest rate, which is cannot exceed 0.15%, it would bring in roughly $493,000 to the providers of Piatt County.
Wow.
I have had a conversation with our county board that in order for us to maintain sustainability where we're at right now of taking care of our fringe benefits and services and Medicaid gap, I don't foresee us exceeding 0.9% for us. So it really is a decision at the Piatt County Board of how high they would want to go, but they can't exceed 0.15. For example, our neighbors to the east of us, Champaign County, doesn't exceed 0.12%. And I'm sorry, I don't have the number for DeWitt County, but I would assume probably very similar.
Kirkman explains there is quite a challenge at the Piatt County Mental Health Center because they are vastly underfunded by the state of Illinois and the cost of their services continues to go up.
Yeah, so we do have some state grants through the Department of Human Services, Department of Rehabilitative Services, and some through the Division of Substance Use and Prevention Recovery. So we have a small block grant that allows us to do some things. We do collect fee for service for insurance providers for our mental health. But Seth, about 67% of our consumers on the mental health side have either state or no insurance. in order for us to provide these services, to get these grants, we have to sign an agreement that says that the ability to pay will not discount somebody from being able to receive services. So many times we're taking consumers where we're taking a financial loss. And that wasn't as bad when the funding, about 8 to 9 years ago, was there was a grant that would help cover the supplemental loss for Medicaid. And there was a grant that was out there to cover psychiatric services in a rural population. Mm-hmm. Those grants have been eliminated for the past 10 years. That left a $140,000 hole in our operations that the state of Illinois used to supplement. Mm-hmm. That is the primary reason why we're going to voters in Piatt County, is to provide mostly for psychiatric care, because I didn't know if you're aware of this, but only 45% of Illinois counties have an in-person psychiatrist. We are one of that 45%. And if we're not able to figure out a way to sustain these services, you're going to see the fallout of that, of either, individuals being untreated and crashing ERs, possibly engaging in criminal activity. Not all do, but possibly. You're going to see people be denied for coverage because they have no insurance, or you're going to see the burden upon your fellow neighbor having to travel much further to receive their care. And so, as I've told the voters that I've gotten in front of, I'm not asking for nice, shiny new things. I'm asking to preserve what we know works here in Piatt County.
The state of Illinois promised taxes from the legalized adult use marijuana would go into agencies like the Piatt County Mental Health Center. Kirkman says he's still waiting on the check from those taxes, which have recorded record numbers in the last few years.
I think the check is in the mail. We have not seen, we've seen a very nominal service rate increase that's been somewhere around 2 to 2.5%. But you and your listeners know the cost of living has went up 9%. And for us to retain our workforce, we have had to come up on our wages. Just transparently, with our service rate increase, we're taking even a larger loss now. I've got a certified alcohol and drug counselor that has been here for 27 years. He has seen generations of family members battle the medical disease of addiction. Mm-hmm. And he is here because he is a member of this community and he cares about this community. That's rare. And we're losing a lot of good providers or eligible providers because, quite frankly, we can't make the wages of some of those larger mental health facilities in metropolitan areas of what they can pay. So I would encourage any listener, come visit with me, come see your facilities. We are your mental health facility. I think we do a good job, but we need the community's help to preserve.
The need in the community not only is apparent, but it continues to show that the people young and old utilize the services of the Piatt County Mental Health Center.
Yeah, well, my sell is that 1 out of 5 U.S. adults has a diagnosable mental health issue within the past year. We know that 1 in 6 individuals in Piatt County have been identified as having a developmental disability. And our most recent Illinois Youth Survey, which we've spent a lot of time talking about, 6 out of 10 Piatt County youth have self-reported that they have consumed alcohol or an illegal substance. So there is a need in the community. A few of the questions that I've been asked is, how high will the levy be? Will it be 0.15? And I can't answer that. But interestingly, Seth, I went to a village meeting last night, and one individual said, the state of Illinois takes enough tax money, and they have millions and millions of dollars that they allocate to mental health providers. Why do you need more? And that's a very great question. And as a conservative American myself, I agree taxes are difficult. But what I tried to point out to that gentleman last night was that while he's correct that there are millions of dollars that are distributed to mental health providers, very, very few of those grants smaller municipalities are eligible for. Mm-hmm. So, for example, Piatt and DeWitt County, we have about 16,000 people. We are small potatoes compared to Cook County and even our friends in Macon and Champaign. We get a very, very small sliver. And because we have a small demographic, we're normally not considered ineligible for any of those services because they get spread around to a larger area. So if there are available funds, I'm going after them. But when you say there are lots of grants out there, That's true, but within the proper context, there's not a lot of grants. We are eligible.
Kirkman notes if a 708 tax is approved, there would be a board that is established to decide how those dollars are then distributed to agencies in Piatt County. News time is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. Still to come later in the hour, we'll take a look at local sports. Illinois, after its win over ranked Michigan, up to number 20 in the AP Top 25 college football poll. Illinois travels to Eugene, Oregon to take on the now top-ranked Ducks. Last time Illinois played a top-ranked football team, they beat Ohio State on the road in 2007. That story coming up in sports. The Packers were winners yesterday in the NFL as well. Sports is on the way. We'll get to more local news after a break here on WHOW.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers a full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton or Farmer City. This is what we strive to do each and every day. We'll listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that is knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
News time is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. If you receive Social Security, you can help make sure they pay you the right benefit each month. Jack Myers with Social Security explains you can do that by reporting relationship or other life changes that could affect your eligibility for retirement, survivors, or disability benefits. Additionally, you and your family may miss out on additional payments you may be due if you don't report changes to Social Security in a timely manner.
Yeah, when you get Social Security benefits, there is a way that you can help us make sure that we pay you the right benefit each month, because that's our goal. We want to pay the right benefit to the right person at the right time. But there are certain changes that affect your eligibility for benefits. Maybe they mean that you should be eligible for more money. Maybe it means you should be eligible for less money or not eligible at all because of a change. But it's important for you to report certain types of things to us so that we can make sure you're getting the right amount. One of the big things that I'll focus on here this morning would be different types of relationship or other life changes that could affect your eligibility for Social Security retirement benefits, survivor benefits, or Social Security disability benefits. You and your family might miss out on additional payments if you don't report changes to us in a timely manner, or like I mentioned, not reporting changes to us could, on the flip side of that, create an overpayment that you would have to pay back to us.
According to Myers, the types of relationships you need to report are a marriage or divorce, the death of a spouse or former spouse, becoming a parent of a child, including adoption, marriage of a child who gets benefits on your record, or if a child who gets benefits on your record no longer lives with you.
We don't want you to miss out on anything. We don't want you to get overpaid. So here are some of the things that you would be wanting to report to us. Marriage or divorce, death of a spouse or a former spouse, becoming parent of a child, and this would of course include adoption, marriage of a child who is getting benefits on your record, and then if a child who gets benefits on your record no longer lives with you, you want to let us know where they've gone to and how to contact the adult or organization who cares for them now, because there's a possibility that you're getting benefits because you have that child in care. And if they're not with you anymore, that could impact your eligibility. In addition to that, you might be representative payee for that child. So the money might be coming to you on their behalf. But if they're living with somebody else who's in potentially a better position to help them manage their needs, we might want to shift that over to that person that's caring for them then. So just a few examples there.
There are other types of changes that are not relationship-based, but still important to report. Myers highlights one, like returning to work if you receive Social Security disability benefits.
Let me look at one of these bullet points, which was death of a spouse or a former spouse. That's a great example because that's inevitable, right? I mean, nobody gets out of this thing alive, so we're always dealing with that, unfortunately. And the significance of that is if you're getting retirement benefits, because when you filed for your retirement benefits, your own benefit was higher than one half of your spouse's. Okay, so that's how spousal benefits work. In that scenario, you would get yours and your spouse would get theirs, and there wouldn't be anything you would be due on their record. But if theirs was higher than yours and they pass away, now all of a sudden you are potentially eligible if you're old enough, and if you were getting retirement, you would be old enough. You're going to be eligible for an additional benefit on their record, most likely, as a survivor. So you'd want to get in touch with us and let us know that that spouse had passed. Now, a lot of times, in the state of Illinois and in many states, we get electronic death records. So when a death certificate is filed, we get that notification, and so that serves to stop the benefits to the deceased individual, but it does not give us any kind of information about you as a survivor. So it's very important that you get in touch with us so that we know you would be eligible for survivor benefits, and you apply for that so that you can get that higher monthly benefit that you are eligible for.
Report any changes by calling 800-772-1213 Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can also call your local Social Security office or visit ssa.gov/locator. There's also the option to fax, mail, or deliver your updates to your local office. The future of Illinois State University Mennonite College of Nursing is bright, thanks in part to funding secured by Illinois lawmakers. The Mennonite College of Nursing broke ground on an expanded simulation center earlier this summer. That center doubles the space of the current simulation lab, allowing the state school to enroll 100 additional nursing students. U.S. Representative Darren LaHood and Senator Dick Durbin helped source $2 million for the project. The new lab, priced at $18 million, also houses new classrooms and patient simulation areas. The lab is at the corner of Locust Street and Normal Avenue across from the Bone Student Center parking lot. News time is 29 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. Coverage of news brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. We stream to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Sports is next.
With SRN News, I'm